to another episode of Two Scripters One Poll. As you can hear by the sniffles in my voice, your girl is sick. Which is why, for my people who are like, I'm a listener only, you didn't get an episode this Thursday. And if you are new here and on YouTube, or you've been on YouTube and you're here, I'm a little delirious, okay? You're getting a day of episode. Fingers crossed that I can edit it today, but I'm feeling good, despite being sick. It's been a week. You know what? When I start making merch, that's going to be one of the items, like a shirt or a mug that just says it's been a week, because it's always a week. It's always a day. Yeah, I've been in the house sick. And for someone who loves, I don't even want to say loves, cuz it's not even like I do love it, but I'm a person that finds it very hard to sit down. It's just always like there's something to do. Something needs to be done. Whether it be stuff for my internship, whether it be stuff for school, for work, and that could be like my vanilla job, that could be Findom work, that could be artwork. Whenever I'm sitting still, it's almost like I'm panicking, because I'm like, oh my God, this energy could be used elsewhere. So in that regard, this week, I have laid in bed and I have gone outside. And I would say, like, my work to rest ratio, I've been resting and I feel so great. And let's get into it. So I have, because it's been like 2 weeks since I've actually recorded, because the episode with Goldie was recorded like a month ago, I think. The episode that I recorded outside, I'm complex as fuck, which got almost, but honestly, let me look it up right now, because I was shook when I saw that. Oh my God, I have so many tabs open and so many windows open. That's just the way my brain works. Shout out to the new subscribers. Oh, there's another one. Hello. Hi. Welcome to my crazy shit show. Yeah. I'm complex as fuck has gotten almost 1,000 views. That's crazy. I was like, I saw when it was at like 300, and that was earlier in the week, because I really don't try to pay too much attention to numbers anymore. I haven't even checked like the podcasters Spotify. Let me see what that says. I got a fart, y'all. Speaking of farting, I be mad because y'all know, if you've been here, I have all time plays 1,000. Let me see where we at, where the listeners at. We are in, is that new? That is new. We're in the US, Canada, United Kingdom, Mexico, Philippines, Colombia, Benin, Australia, Costa Rica, China, Netherlands, South Africa. Shout out to Benin though, because I remember when that was the first country that I went international in, and I haven't taken an ancestry test yet. I do plan on doing it. But my brother did, and it showed up in his chart, his DNA chart. And I was like, oh my God. So I am wondering if that is in mine, because it doesn't really say whether it was parent 1 or parent 2. Like, it doesn't say who parent 1 is versus parent 2. And we do have different peppies. So I'm excited to see what mine says. Before I went on that, what made me think about that? I was talking about not really paying attention to numbers. I was talking about having recorded I'm complex as fuck after recording with Goldie. So that was the last time that I recorded. So it's been about 2 weeks. And so what has happened? Like this week has been a lot, but since 2 weeks ago, oh my God, so much shit has happened. Did I finish that thought though? I don't know. Y'all know I never finish thoughts. So I wrote down my notes per usual. And I was like, oh my God, there's so much here. I could talk about so much. So let me just kind of talk in chronological order. But before I do that, I'll talk about just like my revelations this week, I guess. Like I woke up Monday with no voice, and I started to record on Monday because I actually love raspy voices. So story time. In middle school, the first time I ever lost my voice, and this is crazy how this happened. I used to have a rumor too, and oh wait, was it even the rumor 2 at that point? I don't think so, because I used to have Version Mobile before they got switched to Boost, and I used to have like the trappiest trap phones, and so I think that was when I had this brick phone. But the point is, it was like on a charger, and I used to keep the charger, like keep the phone on my bed while I was charging, and now I try not to do that. I leave it on my nightstand. But I was tossing and turning in my sleep that night, and I woke up in the morning with the phone charger and phone wrapped around my neck. Crazy. And so, like, my neck was sore. I couldn't really move it or anything. And then for like a week, I lost my voice. And I was like, oh, I sound amazing. I sound beautiful. And I just kept talking. And then the second time I ever really lost my voice for an extended period of time was, it was like 2018, 2019, I think. It was definitely my last senior year of college, and I went out one night, and then the next morning I woke up and my voice was just shot. And I remember I remember I was talking to this dude at the time, and I sent him a voice message just saying like I woke up down bad, blah blah blah. And he was like, yo, your voice sound ashy as fuck. And I thought it was so funny. So yeah, I was gonna record the this week's episode earlier on Monday, but I've really just been taking the time to think about energy and what do I have energy to do in that moment, and stop kind of operating from like things need to be done, because things will always need to be done, but what makes sense for me to do in that moment. So it really didn't make sense for me to record until today. I was gonna try to record yesterday, but I like to have the sun because camera quality. And I was on the phone with Molly. Shout out Molly. Check out episode. If you go to Patreon, that's episode 8, farting water, and that is also minisode 8. What's it like? I don't remember the exact title, but basically sex life with kids in the house with Katie, Molly, and Dixie. Shout out y'all. I love y'all. So I was on the phone chopping it up with her for a while. So I didn't get around to doing it yesterday. And part of me was like, do I want to record today? And I was like, no, I do. Because I do miss recording. And I was like, if I don't do it today, then I'm not going to do it. And then I'm going to go on an involuntary break. And that's not really what I want to do. So, yeah, woke up Monday, no voice, really confused. And then that just kind of set the tone for the rest of the week. I have been going outside trying to get fresh air. I have spent a lot of time next to water. and just observing, like, nature is so beautiful. So I saw, let's see, starting a week ago from today, because last Saturday I had to go to this orientation for this summer camp that I'm about to start working um next month. And so I went out by the river. It was funny because my neighbor, actually, I was like walking outside and he was there. He was like, "Oh, I was just about to text you. What are you about to do?" And I was like, "Well, I'm about to go sit by the river." And he's like, "Oh," I was like, "Do you want to come?" He was like, "Oh yeah, I would actually love to, but you look like you about to do like some alone time." And I was like, "I mean, I am, but I don't own the river. Like, you're still welcome to come. And if I was really that occupied, I wouldn't have invited you. I just would have been like, 'Oh, hey, nice to see you. Have a nice day,' and went about my day." So he came and chilled with me, but it was cool because, you know, I had I noticed something in the woods, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then I realized it was a cat. I've never seen a cat out there, and I've been noticing cats a lot lately. So then, um, I looked down the river and I saw a deer. And as long as I've been going out there, I have not seen a deer. So I was like, "Oh my gosh." And he just like came out and like looked. And then my neighbor was making fun of him because that deer did have a long neck. It was like his neck long as shit. And right after he said that, the deer did this thing where it was just like, ow, that hurts my neck. um, so I had like noticed deer. And then I don't think I went out there Sunday. Um, I don't know. I don't remember if I went outside Monday, but I do remember Tuesday. I had got up in the morning and I went back out to down by the river. Uh, and just make a note of how I don't know anything about birds. I want a pair of binoculars so that I can actually bird watch because it's so fascinating. But I've just noticed like a lot of different birds. So you got like the brown birds, which I think no, I know there's plenty of different types of birds, but that are brown. But I think they're sparrows, from what I can remember. Then you have like red cardinals. You have blue jays. Um, I don't know, are yellow canaries, I think. But I saw a yellow bird the other day. Never saw one of those before. It was like a little tiny bird. And then you have like ducks, and then you have the birds that their body is black, but their head is like, it looks like this turquoises. That's a word today. Like this turquoise-ish. That's not a word either, but I be making up shit. Um, this turquoise, blue green kind of deep, rich color. Um, and squirrels. Ooh, it's another bird. Squirrels are fucking insane. Yo, okay. So, and then like paying attention to like ants and spiders and just seeing like the varieties. And I'd be trying, like, when I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, because I'm on Hinge now. So many things have happened. And we were sending voice notes, me and this guy, and I look up at the ceiling and I thought it was a fly. And so I was like, "Oh shit, it's a fly on the ceiling." And then afterwards, when I got finished recording, I get closer and it's a spider. And so I had said, because I had mentioned in the voice note that it was a fly. So then I sent an updated one and it was like, it's a spider. So then we started going on this rant about like bugs and shit and the life of a bug. But that's neither here nor there. But we started talking about, like, he was saying, like, kill it unless, like, that's not your thing, and you want to like keep the peace with bugs and not kill them and da da da. And I was like, "Oh no, once you're in my house, that like protect nature shit goes out the window because you don't pay rent. You're in here terrorizing me for free? Absolutely not. You must die." But outside, I respect your environment. So you might get a pluck. I'm going to disrespectfully pluck you because why are you crawling on me? I'm not crawling on you. So don't be crawling on me and my shit. But I was out and I haven't taken a look at the video. I might actually insert the clip into this video. Cause I was out there and I was trying to record some ignore content by the river, like ignore ASMR connected. Cause I've started making series of content, and one of my series is connecting with nature. So I have like, I think I'm in connecting with nature 3 or 4 now. Because I have my very first one was like Barefoot Souls, and it was like almost a year ago when I really first started making content, and I was just like walking around a tree in the dirt, and then connecting with nature too. I'm acting like I can't look this up because I do have it on. Let me go to loyal fans. If it wants to load. No, how do I get there? Oh my god. No, what am I doing? How many connecting with natures do I have now? Okay, I have 3. So the first one was rooted in foot worship. The second one was rooted in tit worship, and it was like a JOI, which means jerk off instruction. Tell them how to stroke that dick, bitch. Sorry, impulsive activity. Which is funny too, because when I first started, I had no interest in JOI, mainly because it goes back to what I've said through some other episodes, is that like for me, even in my personal sex life, I don't really be talking. It takes me a while to build that up. And so my first couple of sexual interactions with someone, I won't really talk. But I like to. I have a praise kink. I also have a degradation kink. And if you mix the two, like if you call me a pretty little slut, oh my god, yes, I'm your pretty little slut, Zaddy. And yeah, and so I would say that if I am speaking, it is like usually it's more ad libs, like shit, fuck, damn, shit, fuck. No, what was it? Damn, I was about to shit, bitch. Fuck, what the fuck is the name of that song? It's the shit. What is it? Now it's stuck in my head. Sheck West, young Sheck West, and I'm getting really rich. Oh, fuck. Shit. Fuck it, because I'm not gonna get it. I'm really trying, and I can't remember the lyrics. But that's where I was going with that. But I would say that like my speech in sex is more of a praise realm to my partner. And with JOY, now that I have a better understanding of it, and it's literally just saying like showing them how to, or not showing, directing them in how to jerk off, because that's in the name. I've gotten more comfortable with it, and I especially like to do it with titty worship, because this is it's like I'm listening to myself as I hear this stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so crazy. Shout out to the person who was in the comments of the I'm complex as fuck episode and was like, you need Jesus. You're right, I do. And I also think it's funny because I'm like, what part of that were you referring to? I need Jesus, right? Because I rewatched the episode last night and I was like, I dropped so many gems. Like, this is actually a very positive and very insightful episode. And what about me really needs Jesus? Like, let's talk more. What part makes you think that I need that in my life? Anyway, so yeah, the second one is tit worship, JOI. What is it? ASMR. And then the third one is foot worship again. And I'm trying to get out of the habit of making new content because I have so much on my backlog. Um, so anywho, how I got here. When I was out there on Tuesday, I was in the process of like making another video to the series, even though I literally just said I need to stop doing that. But, you know, um, and shit be falling out the sky because these squirrels be active. Squirrels are actually fucking insane. I told y'all about attacking the squirrels. Like, that is one crazy ass squirrel that I really think low key might have rabies, because why do you have a whole ass squirrel in your mouth? Like, you look like you was really about to eat that nigga. So these squirrels, I've been like, paying more attention to them, and I'm minding my business and I hear something drop, but I don't pay no attention to it. The next thing I know, I hear this loud ass thump. This squirrel was at the top of the tree and just fucking spiraled down into the river. And then he landed on all fours and then ran away. And I was like, oh, nope, it's time for me to go. I gotta get out of here. Because what the fuck is even happening? So I left and I didn't feel fulfilled enough. So I think I came back in the house and then I made plans to do something. And I went to that's what I did. I went to the crystal store because I wanted to get some more crystals, specifically amethyst, and I wanted to get some herbs because I was asking, I'm getting more into herbalism. This week has been all about herbalism and mix of stuff. So like right now, I have tea, I have a lemon, and I put honey in it, and then in my little diffuser, I have thyme, ginger, and nettle leaf. Because thankfully I don't have COVID. I took 2 tests and they both came back negative. It's just I'm chalking it up to a sinus infection. And it seems like sinus infections are going around right now. That's kind of the thing. But Tuesday was like real rough. So I stopped by the store to get some herbs, and then I was like, I want to go back out by the water. But I didn't really want to go to my usual place because by this point, I want to say it was definitely afternoon time. So I knew that people were going to be outside and I really didn't want to be around people. So I went to this place in Colombia and they had like this cute little dam. So I propped my blanket and my yoga mat. My plan was to go live on OnlyFans because that's what I've been doing. I've been doing camming and it's been a lot of fun. I think that's definitely part of my niche in sex work is camming, going live and ignoring motherfuckers until they pay me to speak. I literally have a whiteboard that says really big pay to speak, and then it says like all the things that I am offering in that moment. Cuck stories. You could hear about how I got insanely fuck'd. Wheel spins, drains, picture sets, dick rates, SPH, all of that stuff. CEI, which is come eating instructions. CBT task, just you can DM me and I'll what you want and I'll give it to you. I'm gonna give you what you want. But most importantly, it says pay to speak because I set my settings to what is it? In order, when you come into the chat room, the only way when you come into my live room, the only way you can chat is if you tip. And the minimum is like $5. And then if you don't subscribe to my loyal fans, then you have to pay. At first, it was like 25 cents per message, but I actually increased it to $5 per message. And subscribers get to talk to me for free. And so I've like played around with that setting here and there. And I finally was just like, I'm sticking to my guns. Pay to speak to me, bitch. And it's working out in my favor. It's been a prosperous couple of weeks, but this week I haven't really been going live because being sick. So my plan was I'm outside, like let's come outside and do nature. Um, Cause that part, like the mistress, goddess, princess, the goddess part is like one with nature. So I really tap into that part of my dom energy and persona. Um, so I'm like, yeah, come outside and do yoga with goddess while she recovers. And it was hot as shit outside. All of my devices overheated except for my iPad. So I was using my phone to be my hotspot for my iPad. And everything was going great. And then I see like the little error message. I look at my phone and it was like temperature too hot. Da 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 da. And so I have the hotspot on my main phone. My work phone doesn't have a hotspot. I originally put the hotspot on this one, but I couldn't figure out how to get it to work. And I think it's because this is an 8. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. So I still ended up just recording my yoga. And I'm actually very proud of myself because I did like a whole, I was really doing it just based off of whatever um my body wanted to do. Like I made my own flow because I told y'all all the time I love yoga with Adrian. Um so I sat out there, I want to say definitely at least an hour. I think like an hour and a half maybe. I went out there with my crystals and I just kind of like laid in the sun and meditated and went back and forth between like moments of still meditation and like a yoga flow. Um, and when I was like walking to find my spot, because I sat right next to the dam, I got as close as possible. Um, and it was interesting, like the dam isn't as loud as the river, so to hear like that differences in water, and it was just so beautiful outside and noticing like the birds, and I saw a grasshopper, I saw a cricket, I was noticing dragonflies. When I was walking to the spot, I saw like a big feather, so I was like, oh, there must be, I think, a hawk in the area. And I ended up seeing it, like, and seeing how hawks glide and other birds have to like flap their little wings. um and then when I got finished doing yoga, I looked because it was like a dam into a lake, and there was this big log in the middle of the lake. And I saw a fat ass turtle. He just like climbed up and then plopped over the other side, and then I noticed it was a bunch of little turtles. Um, and then when I got done, when I was like, okay, it's hot and I'm sweating, and it's time to go back in the house. I had like went up the hill and saw that where I was at was actually like this massive land, and the lake just extended. So yeah, and then let me see, we're at Saturday now. I think Wednesday I probably went back out near the river. And then Thursday, um, I actually went on a date with someone from Hinge. And we had been talking, and I was just saying, like, we were talking Wednesday, and he was asking, like, if I was going to be free to go on a date either Thursday or Friday. And I was like, I am free, but I'm sick, so I don't really want to. I had already taken a COVID test Tuesday that came back negative. So I was like, um, or did I take it? No, I didn't take it Tuesday. I took it Wednesday and it came back negative. And so he was asking me to go on a date Thursday or Friday. And I was like, well, it came back negative, but I still want to be sure. So I'm going to take another test tomorrow, and I'll let you know. And so when I woke up Thursday, I took a test and it came back negative. So I told him, like, it did come back negative, but I'm not really feeling much better. So maybe we can postpone to the following week. He was like, okay, I understand. Thanks for telling me. So then we just kind of started talking about, well, what are the plans for the day? And I told him how I really started getting more into herbalism this week. And I was going to look up some stuff, and if I didn't have it in my inventory, go to the store. So then he told me about some place in College Park to check out that I had never heard of. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's dope. And then he was asking me, do you like to go on walks and hikes? And I was like, I do like to be outside, one with nature. I really, y'all, I want to go camping so bad. I haven't gone camping since 2021. And that was the first time that I went, like, actual camping in a tent, because I be going glamping. Give me a cabin and your girl is happy. But camping in a tent actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I had a really good time, and I really just want to be outside, because I used to go camping every summer when I was younger, and I just like views. I love mountains. I love nature. I love water. Anything with water. Um, so I was like, yeah, I do. I'm not about to sit here and say I'm like hiker of the year or anything, but I appreciate a nice walk outside. Shout out Diamond, because Diamond in episode 6 and whew, no, not 6, 5, Dark Solitude. And then what was the I think what it was an episode that I came back to. I can't remember. But she's in that one. Where is it? Diamond. And Diamond, for those of you who are on YouTube, if you didn't know, there's like actual podcasts. Go listen to the episodes. Those, and I noticed too that, like, when I was watching this, I was like, oh, I need to change the ending's title, because it says new episodes Thursday, which is true. Audio comes out, well, it's supposed to, when I'm feeling well. Audio comes out Thursdays and visuals come out Saturdays. So I was like, oh, let me change the ending to every Saturday for those on YouTube. But anyway, there are some episodes, given the line of work that I'm in, some people have to maintain their privacy. And so whether that is they are actually a sex worker, whether that be like in the porn industry, or a dominatrix, or a stripper, or a cam girl, or a sugar baby, because some people want to say that sugar ain't. And yes, you being a sugar baby without giving sex, you're still kind of in the sex work industry. Not kind of, you are. Like, and that's one of the things. That's another thing that I didn't really mention last week, and I don't know if I mentioned it in the So You Want to Be a Sex Worker. The fact of the matter is, you are a sex worker, and that's something that you're going to have to accept, right? And just letting, like, not letting other people's perception and opinions of you dictate how you carry yourself, because you know you, because you have to sit with yourself all day every day. So nobody's going to know you better than you do, and you have to, like, you have to ride for yourself. You have to uphold yourself, cuz other motherfuckers are going to be quick as hell to tear you down, especially if they are insecure within themselves, because they don't understand how someone else can be secure in themselves. And a lot of people want to bring you down to their point of misery. Misery loves company. Um, and so I was thinking the other day about how, like, when I tell people, part of the conversation that I had with the dude, I was telling him, I'm a pro dom, da da da, and I just said, like, I'll say I'm a sex worker, I'm in sex work, and I leave it at that. He did kind of ask me, so, like, what do you do? Like, what are your services? And it kind of felt like he was alluding at, like, oh, you fucking motherfuckers, not in a judgmental way, because it actually went really well. I had a great time. He was a great dude. And I look forward to us potentially going on a date again. I had a wonderful time. We were out there. We ended up going to the harbor, because he was like, oh, come outside. And I was like, okay, I would definitely prefer to be outside, because I don't want to run the risk of getting you sick. So we ate outdoors at a restaurant, and then after we finished eating, he was like, you want to go on a walk? And I was like, okay. And we were down by the harbor. And so I think we were at the restaurant for like an hour and a half. We were together for like three and a half, maybe even 4 hours. No, I'm exaggerating, because I think we were leaving, it was like 5:30. So we were together for like 4 hours. Not 4, 3. And it was just, the conversation was flowing really well, and we talked about so many different things. Like, he was also an educator and had like things going on in his life to bring him here, but it was just like, it was nice to have an open, honest conversation with someone, and it not feel forced. And so, back to the when he had asked me about, like, asking me more about my work as a pro dom and as a sex worker and what that looks like for me. It just kind of got me thinking, and I think about this too sometimes when I talk about like the HIV stuff. When I tell people about, the day that I was born, my mom and my brother were diagnosed. I never specify whether I have it or not, because I feel like that's irrelevant. What does that have to do with anything? Um, and some people assume that I do have it, and that, why does it matter? Why does it matter? I'm still me, with or without some diagnosis or some condition. And I still have so much to offer. So it's like, I don't even bother trying to argue or bring that up, because it really doesn't matter. And so in the terms of sex work, it's like, I let people think what they want to think, because they're going to do that regardless. Like, what is the why would I bother expelling all of this energy trying to convince you of something that I know is true, and I'm the one that has to like deal with it and move through it every day, whatever that truth is. But I know what is true. Why would I sit here and expel energy to someone who potentially doesn't care and is just going to think what they want to think at the end of the day anyway? So I think about that in terms of like the HIV/AIDS advocacy work. I don't care to tell people that I'm HIV free. Um, and really, like I said, and I'm complex as fuck. Like, I'm tired of telling people I'm not out here fucking. If you want to think I'm out here fucking for money, cool. And again, that's not a shot to the people that are. Do you make the decisions that work best for you, that make sense to you? Is that I don't know what that is, but like, it's all these fucking bugs. um, so when we were out there though, I didn't realize that the harbor has catfish. Cause after we went to Walrus and Ale, and they got cornbread, y'all. The cornbread was good. I was like, oh, cause the waitress was like, y'all want some cornbread? And I was like, wait, you say cornbread? They were like, yeah. I was like, oh yeah. And it was actually pretty good. So, then we walked down like near the Ferris wheel under that like tent thing. And we were watching the ducks jump into the water, and it's so cute. And when you think about ducks, they look so serene on top of the water, but when you look, you just see their little feet paddling. They're working so hard. Um, and so it was just like, we just kept seeing the ducks and the ducklings jump into the water. And then I've never seen it was like a cow print duck. I've never seen black and white ducks that had like this cow print. It was so cool. And then we saw like this massive orb in the water. And we're sitting here like, what the fuck is that? So then we realize it's a school, because fish in large numbers are called schools. It is a school of fish, catfish. And I was like, whoa, didn't know that they were here. And they were big as shit. They were so fucking massive. So then we were trying to figure out what was going on, because they just were in this big place. So I think that the catfish were trying to eat the ducklings, because they kept trying to go after the ducklings, and the big ducks kept snapping at the catfish. So yeah, just like, I've been spending a lot of time paying more attention to the variety of species, how things interact with each other. Um, it's been a great, fulfilling week in understanding more of like the plants and the supplements of what the earth has already given you. So I'm really on a focus right now of like co-creation with the earth. And utilizing what it has already given us. So I haven't really been camming because, I've thought about like, oh, let me go on live. And it's like, I'm just sitting here. But it's like the energy that I have to put in to getting ready for live. Like I don't go and put on makeup. I'm literally just in my room, in my chair, or I've been laying on my bed recently because, my back always hurting. So I've just been in there with my little sign, and then I have this one dude. He's so cute. He's my biggest spender. Um, he he's UK based, and which a lot of them are, like Goldie was saying. Excuse me. So he'll come in and he's like, "Hi, goddess, how are you?" And then we'll like chat it up, and he's into ass worship and all this stuff. So like, you know, we'll be talking just like normal people because he's a normal person. I'm a normal person. That's another thing. Like, and I see this debate all the time. Be yourself. Subs find you. They find what they like about your personality, because, and this is, when I first started, and I'll probably talk more about this on Patreon. We're at 40 minutes, so I'm gonna actually well, no, I'm not gonna do no ads because I don't have any ads. Um, use code BBMango30 at Bellessa checkout for 30% off your order. In Patreon, I didn't upload anything for the month of May, and I'm probably not gonna upload anything for this month. I'll probably record for next month though, because I'm still figuring out what's going on with Patreon. And I'm like, I'll get subscribers and then people cancel. And I'm like, what y'all don't like about it? But I'm thinking about changing the format because there's plenty of content on there. Because when I first started doing, last season when I was doing the minisodes and the full episodes, since it wasn't me and Tori anymore, and I wanted to do clips, I was like, oh, well, let me, because we used to record minisodes and do audio only for the videos. But then once I transitioned to this, like, I already had this set up, and then I had these other people that weren't necessarily going to be on Patreon with me, and I wanted to do clips. So I had started putting the full episodes on Patreon. So that's kind of how that started. Because it was supposed to be like, toy talk, and Patreon was supposed to be toy talk, pole dancing, like behind the scenes pole play, and just like tutorials and stuff. But then when Tori was no longer here, I was like, okay, well, what am I going to put on Patreon? So then I was like, oh, okay, I can use these full-length episodes as part of the Patreon, since they technically were never supposed to be here anyway. So that way I have the content for Patreon, and then I have what I need for the timeline, clips. And then it quickly became a lot to do the minisodes and the full episodes, and I took a break, and I was like, yeah, let me just get rid of the minisodes. They don't need to be here now. And then Patreon transitioned into behind the scenes pole play, keeping toy talk, and this other part of me now, this sensual this pro sensual findom, and just like that journey. So, I've been talking a little bit more in depth on the regular episodes about like what I've been doing, but Tales of a Sensual Findom is more about like more in depth on this journey, like actual conversations that I've had with subs. I read through the message, or what my ideology was, or more reflection based of me when I started my journey versus now, or certain things like there's wax play. I did a wax play scene with my cousin on there. I did just like more raunchy conversation with Tal. Shout out Big Tal. More in depth on Knifer, which like the last, I think I took it off because I had said I have an alias, and sometimes I just be talking, and I had put in the video, I said in the video what my alias is, and I was like, why the fuck did I say that? I don't need to tell y'all that, because the whole point of an alias is so y'all don't know what it is. So I was like, I pulled it off of it so that I can block out the name that I said. and re-upload it. But yeah, so if you want more in depth, and I talked about Night Flirt, which is a night phone sex operation, and I talked about Sex Panther, but I'm not on Sex Panther. I talked about I'll eventually end up talking more in depth about Loyal Fans, because I'm on Loyal Fans, Mini Vids, I Want Clips, Night Flirt. Those are the 4 adult websites that I'm on. People keep telling me I would do really well on Clips for Sale, but Clips for Sale, it's really hard to navigate their website. I can't. And I thought, like, when I first tried it, I was like, oh, fuck no. And I was like, now that I have a better, system between I Want Clips, Loyal Fans, and all of that, I was like, oh, I'll just copy and paste and input. But even that, I was like, what the fuck is going on? It was too much. So, I'll have to come back when I have the energy for it. Um, um, so yeah, I've kind of taken a little bit of a break from Patreon, because there's more than enough content on there, and I'm thinking about just switching up, because right now there's 3 tiers. There's a 333 tier, I think like a 666 tier, and like a 999. But I'm honestly just like I'm gonna break it down to two. You got the $5 tier and you got the $10 tier, and because so many of the old videos have like, oh, in the main stage in the champagne room, um I'm gonna put all of the beginning toy talks, like the earlier toy talks, in main stage. But the difference, well, I don't know if I'll still put, I gotta work with it. But obviously the idea is in the $10 tier you're gonna get more bang for your buck. Um, and so I'm still figuring out, like, logistically what makes sense. But I know for a fact that, like, I was thinking of putting the Toy Talk in the main stage in I'm not Toy Talk and Tales of Essential Findom in the champagne room, and then behind the scenes pole play old main stage. Um, fucking words, old Toy Talk that is already being advertised as like in main stage, um, on the $5 tier. But then I'm like, okay, well, what makes it worth it to pay $5 a month? Like, you still get the behind the scenes pool play, but what else are you getting in addition to that? Because I like poll plays are usually only like 30 to 40 minutes long, if that. So I'm like, $5 for 30 minutes to me, which once a month, which I don't know. We'll see. Figuring out what makes sense. It's getting hot. This sun is rising. So yeah, that is. How did I get there? Oh, I was just talking about like some of the things that like. So I'll go more in depth about like camming and what that's looking like for me. And just a lot since I recorded Night Flirt and Sex Panther. A lot has changed. In terms of how, like, I recently had a really good day. I made like $200 from this one dude in like 15 minutes. And yeah, that that part. Is there anything else that I wanted to say on that? Um, I talked about herbalism and connecting with nature. And I have been getting more into chakras and stuff, so I'm paying a little bit more attention to that sacral. So I found somebody was talking about I'm sorry, it's hard for me to focus because I really got a fart right now, which also reminds me that I didn't finish my sentence from earlier about like I be wanting to do fart fetish content, but I just feel like I don't have enough farts in one sitting to actually make a video worth selling. Now I could do clips of farts and post them on my timeline, and then I could make a compilation. But it's like, okay, it's a lot of work to set your phone up to fart 1 or 2 times and to save that video. When's the next time I'm gonna have to fart? You know what I'm saying? But then shout out Goldie. which I guess will transition me into my next topic after I mention the sacral thing. But, I was talking about this. Was it Goldie or Gianna? It was one of them, or maybe it was Savannah. I don't know. Shout out y'all. It was one of them three that was talking about like, oh, eat broccoli. Broccoli will make you fart. And I was like, oh my god, psh, I love broccoli. Duh. So when I test that out, come on over to Patreon, and I'll tell you about fart fetish. Cause as y'all know, since I've been starting from day one, I really have to fart, but I don't want to fart on camera, y'all. That's crazy. But like, you can feel it in your gut. I can feel it in my bones. It's real. Oh Lord, it's real heavy. I'ma just fart and I'ma cut this part out. Ooh, jeez Louise. Oh, that felt so good. Oh, and the pressure is coming back. Oh my God. Ooh, Jesus. Yikes. And it's crazy because there's a motherfucker out there, and maybe it's you. Maybe you're the motherfucker listening to or watching this. There's no judgment, okay? You listen. You want me to fart in a jar? You want me to fart in a jar for you? I have painted fart jars, okay? It's like it brings us back to full circle. Shout out to Sean. The video is not on my page. It's on her YouTube page. Shout out to Sean, my shit show. And it's on the audio, House of Sluts. And I was telling her about when I first came up with the idea of farting in jars, painted jars, that have like fart or toenail clips or dirt or maybe panties that have been soiled or fishnets or whatever you want. I got it. Okay. Welcome to Mango's Paradise, baby. And so I bring that up because that was a great fart. So yes, if you are a fart connoisseur, email your girl, Mistress Mango at proton.me. You want me to fart on you? Baby, I got you. I will eat the biggest plate of broccoli just for you. Okay? You want a custom clip of me farting? I got you. Okay? Like, there's so many options. We could do an in-person session. We could do online. Set this up. I put my booty in the camera and just fart. And you could just, sniff it. I could fart in a jar. You could open it up like cannonball, bitch. Come here, me. Ah! Sorry, impulsive thoughts. How did I get there? Sacral. Shout out Linda Ruler. She had came in and was asking, like, was anybody into human design? And me being like, ooh, what's this? I'm in the house reading books. Let me figure out. So I looked more into human design. It is a lot to process and a little bit confusing. So I'm taking my time with that. But something that I found out is that I am a generator. And I'm not really sure if I'm a generator or a manifesting generator. But you have like manifestors, you have generators, you have manifesting generators, you have projectors, and you have reflectors. And this is all based on like time and place of birth. So you do need to know those because it's all like everything is energy. Everything is like an energy transfer. So it looks at what energies were in place when you were born and like around you, and what kind of energies do you harness and like work at your highest frequency, and like what are you drawn to do. So I'm not gonna talk too much about that just because I'm still trying to like make it make sense to me, because it is a lot of jargon and a lot of like I don't know what's going on. But something that I picked up is that generators, out of the different types of human design profiles, generators are the only ones that operate from the sacral chakra. And it's like to respond. And so really tapping into like, what do you have the energy for? and letting your energy guide you, not your mind, because your mind is always going to be like, yes, yes, or that's where you get into overthinking. And it's like, what do you actually have the capacity to respond to? And letting that lead you. And so it was like, I started my week out with this like, oh, I don't have the energy to do this or da da da, and really just like, bitch, it's okay to sit down. It is okay to fucking sit down. Like, you are sick, you are dying, you don't have a voice. Like, get it together. It's okay. Everything is still gonna be there when you're you're well and alive. People don't give a fuck about you being sick. Like, the world, capitalism is still gonna thrive with or without you. But the goal is to not make it thrive, because you don't participate in it. But as much as you can, because the world. Anywho, so yeah, operating from your sacral, which is like located behind the navel, and they were talking about, like, if it's not a hell yes, that it's essentially a no. Maybes don't really exist. And that's not to say that like it's always going to be a no, but like, so an example to make it more concretized is like, and I've been talking to my friend a lot about this, is like, I've been saying yes to a lot of things because I've been operating from this like, oh, I need to get bills paid. Like, yes, I will work this or I will do this because that is, in my mind, a guaranteed source of money. And then when it comes, I'm like, damn, why the fuck did I say I would do that, right? And it's because I was operating from this like, I gotta get shit done. These bills need to get paid and nobody's gonna pay them but me. And luckily, the specific thing that I'm talking about, I had like said I was going to do one thing, forgot that I said I was going to do that thing, and then I came back and said like, oh, I'll do this. And then they were like, well, you originally said this. Can you actually, kind of combine this and do like all of it? And I was like, ha ha, yeah. Like, in my head, I'm like, it's more money. Like, okay. And luckily, and I was sitting here and I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, okay, I'm going to go back and renege. And luckily, that person came up to me and was like, thank you for volunteering to do this way, but actually, we don't need you that much. And I was like, oh, thank God. Thank you so much. And so, if it's not a yes immediately, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a no forever. It's just like right now, I don't have the energy for that. So like, if it's something that you would consider, but you don't have the energy, just being like, I'll get back to you. I don't really know if I'll have the energy. Like, when do you need to know by? And I'll, make a decision. So trying to operate more from that. And so all this week I've been like, there's stuff that needs to get done to work. When I get finished recording this, I'm going to work because things need to be done today. And usually I prepare for them earlier in the week, but bitch was sick. Bitch is still sick. But I was like, no, this actually does need to be done today. Like, and then I have stuff coming up next week. So it was like urgent stuff that's coming up next week. And my vanilla job, I was supposed to really be like honing in and doing the work this week, but I can't work from home anymore. And honestly, I don't want to work from home because I need rest. So I did like what minimal work needed to be done. So that way, when I did get to a space where I'm able to better just like operate from, it's easier. So whenever I wrap this up, I'm going into the office for a few hours, and I was like, there's nobody in the office on Saturday, so I have that alone time. I don't have to risk getting anybody sick, and I work better in the office when other people aren't there because it's less of a distraction, and less of an annoyance, because I get annoyed with people. I'm like, oh my God, why are you talking, or why are you asking me to do this, or why are you doing this, and da 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 da. Like, being alone by myself in there works really well for me. So yeah, I got this tiny little book on chakras, and then I found out about I'm reading that, so I want to get more into that. So to Goldie, shout out Goldie, shout out Gianna, Gianna, and Savannah Star. So Goldie in last week's episode was talking about I need to go outside and I need to do this. And she took your girl outside. So I actually, I went to a content house in Alexandria that was hosted by Savannah Star, Savvy G, and OMGiana. I believe that is her, oh my God, my stomach. I believe that is her Twitter handle, but yeah, they did like DC busting cheeks. So it was like primarily a it was catered towards workers in the porn industry, but there was some fetish content happening. And I was like the only solely fetish creator. But it was just so fun to be outside and like meet people and hear just different perspectives and hear how other people got to that part of their journey. So I had a fucking blast. Like, it was a great time. Shout out Grandmaster Fox. He got some of the content. He was the videographer and photographer that I mainly worked with. So I'm really excited to see that, like, once he finishes editing it, which I also need to text him because y'all know I'd be so bad at it. I'm trying to get better. But and see if he's done with that. But that was a great time. I had a fucking blast, and it was like I did a bathtub scene where I was doing, like, you know, tit foot worship, and he was like, you know, recording or whatever. And I was trying to put my feet in the camera, so I put one foot up, and then I put the other, but I was also trying to be, like, you know, sexy or whatever. And then I lost my balance and just, like, dunked. Oh, shit. I, like, dunked into the water. So I really want to see that raw footage so I could see what the hell that looks like. But it was just, like, a great time, great people, and I learned so much about the industry. And I got to make some content with Goldie. So I'm really excited. Yeah, I had a fucking blast. It was amazing. And it was like, and I'll talk more in depth on Patreon when I do, but like just more of like what the experience was like, and like a little bit more background information. But if you are interested in like going into the porn industry, I know that like it's a thing to do a lot of content houses and like people meet up and it's like, okay, well, what kind of porn do you do? Is it boy girl, MMF, FFM, what, or whatever letter, whatever kind of whatever you do, what are you interested in? So they kind of meet up. But I would definitely say look for vetting, and I'll talk more in depth in another episode about vetting. But make sure that they do like proper vetting. Make sure that everybody is like of age in the house. Make sure that, especially if you're doing like sex-based work, like full service sex work, that they consider testing, like making sure that everybody in the house is tested. And so I was like nervous at first because I was like, well, I'm not really in here having, because when I had Goldie told me about it a while ago, and you know, I be procrastinating like shit. So it wasn't until like the week of that I was like, oh shit, I never finished filling out the form. So then I had did it, and then I got like a text message. I think it was like the morning of, they texted me with like the details of where to come, and they had said something about, you know, make sure you bring your test results. And I was like, oh my God, like I didn't realize, and the test results had to be within 2 weeks of that time. And I was like, oh, like I didn't realize, am I still able to come? But like I also wasn't having sex with anybody, so does that matter? And they were like, no, like since you're non-fluid exchange, it doesn't matter. You know, we're still happy to have you, da, da, da. So I was like, I was glad that I was still able to come and participate. It was a wonderful time. They had food for us. Oh my God, it was food all day, every day, like everything. It was such an amazing experience. So definitely shout out to them, busting cheeks. Yeah, what else? Oh, my hair, y'all. So I made it, I put it in the like the caption of the video, and I'm complex as fuck. But when, ooh, ow, when I was dyeing my hair, I really thought a bitch was about to go bald headed because I don't bleach my hair. I use box dye. The last time I used bleach in my hair, I want to say was like my junior year of high school. And that was like the first time that I went red. Oh, excuse me. And so I did that, and I had did a whole bunch of chemical stuff to my hair, and I was just like, no. So ever since then, I do box dye whenever I go blonde, and I try to go for like the lightest blonde that they have before they get to like bleaching. And so I usually use Dark and Lovely, but this time I used Cream of Nature because Dark and Lovely, the only like blonde that they had was it was bleach based. So I went with Cream of Nature. I don't remember which one, and I probably should have got 4 boxes, but I got 3. And considering that I only got 3, I actually did an amazing job with coverage. Um, and um, yeah, so as I was putting it in my hair, and I was very nervous because dyeing locks is so much different than dyeing loose natural hair. So I started on like the ends and working my way up to the roots because I had to like squeeze it and stuff. But as I got up to the roots, I I really thought that all of my locks were going to fall out. And I was a little bit stressed out because I was like, I was ready to pop out with my blonde hair like I'm a bad little bitty. Um, but I wasn't prepared to pop back out bald. Now, could I do it? Absolutely. I used to have waves swimming on bitches. Like, it was nothing new. I was like, I can pull it off for sure. This just wasn't the pop out I was expecting it to be. So I was very stressed. And I've never seen like my roots, I've never seen them so curly in my life. I was like, oh my God. And then it was like all these stray hairs were just everywhere and my locks were literally just hanging. I think I got to poop. Um all of my locks were just hanging by a thread and I was like, a bitch is bald headed again. And I was just trying to walk myself through like, okay, how did I get what was my wave routine? What was I doing? It's gonna be okay. We got this. Like, you can do it, bitch. And so then it was like I was nervous. I was like, well, how long do I keep this in? Because I don't want them to fall out, but like I want the color to come through. It's not as blonde as I wanted it to be. Um, so I definitely do plan on dyeing it again, probably in a couple of months, because I want to give my hair some time to recuperate and regenerate. Um, and it's been what, 2 3 weeks now. It's been definitely at least 2. I think it's been like 3, maybe. Might even been no, I think it's been like 3 weeks. I don't think it's been 4 yet. But I already have new growth. My hair be growing like shit. And so in terms of products, what do I use in my hair? Um, at first, I was just doing like lavender oil every once in a while, direct like a lavender essential oil, which is debatable because you're not supposed to, like, some essential oils you're not really supposed to put directly on the skin. And that's why I didn't really do it often. I would just do a few drops and massage it in every once in a while, definitely after I wash my hair. Oh, y'all, I gotta poop. I'm gonna take a quick pause, be right back. Whew, Jesus Christ. Whew. Y'all, I'm back. Jesus. Anyway, um, it was like one of those. It's hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So hot. So take off all your clothes. I can't take my clothes off because I'm on YouTube. With a little bit of with a little bit of mango just fall out. With a little bit of with a little bit of mango just fall out. Let me close this fucking blind. I'm sitting here trying to be like some sun goddess. Meanwhile, I'm fucking burning up. Oh, I accidentally put my arm in the camera. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. I promise y'all. Okay, I'm still am in the sun without shit. Um, Yeah, so I was talking about my hair. I think I talked about almost everything, except for uh two things, and then I'll wrap it up. Hinge. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Hinge. Y'all know, like, I'm an anti-dating app person. Shout out Rhea. Cause we did, I think it was episode 16, surplus of cock rings, and what was the other one? It was like dating apps do's and don'ts. I forget what mini-sode that was. Um, but I was telling, and I've said on many episodes how anti Tinder I am, because Tinder is for sure the wild wild west. So I was very apprehensive about Hinge. But the sex work girlies have been saying it's been a great place to find, like, sugar daddies and potential subs. And of course, like, when you're on these vanilla dating sites, the minute you mention money to anybody, they're like, "Oh, report for this and da 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 da," and then your account gets banned and da 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 whatever. Um, so obviously you don't want to put that, like, you're a sex worker and things. But how do you have these conversations with people? And so trying to find ways, like, how do you set up your profile to attract what you're looking for? How do you say certain things without saying certain things? So, like, for me, and this also goes into just like the power of words, right? I've always said, since I was younger, it's like always to go back and look at, like, the things that I say jokingly and how true they are now. I talk about that all the time, but I used to always say, like, I want a no calorie, low calorie sugar daddy. Like, we could kiss here and there. I don't want to fuck for money though. I don't. Like, I want to fuck you because I want to fuck you, and if you're giving me money in addition, great. That is wonderful. But I don't want to have to take your money on the condition that I'm continuously fucking you, Like, I just don't want that. Um, and thinking about being intentional with your words. So I always have said, like, no calorie, no calorie. Um, and I started thinking recently, because there are men out there who want to give money to you just because they want to support you, or to be, like, in your company, just to talk to you, without, like, in some, even I hear a lot too that a lot of sex workers, like, they'll have people pay them for these, like, in-person sessions or virtual sessions to do, like, this kink or this fetish, and then they just end up talking about life, like they don't even want to actually do whatever it is. And so in that way, like, even Goldie was saying, it's like, who else is going to do this weird shit with you? Who else is going to be like, yeah, okay, like, I'll walk all over you, or I'll piss in your drink because you want to drink piss, or I'll piss on you, or I'll bite you, or whatever. Like, who else is just going to do that weird shit? um and it's like, you're already at this level of vulnerability, exposing yourself to this person, asking them to do this weird shit to you. So in that, like, and like she was saying, you spend so much time, it's like your dentist, your hairstylist, your barber, your whatever, like, you're spending time in this, like, intimate setting with someone. There's bound to be, like, this exchange of, like, who you are and what you're going through, or how you got here, just like person to person, all this. That's how I had kind of went down that rabbit hole, because I was like, um when I first started my journey, I had started out, like, when I look back at messages I sent, it was like, it really was just off the wall crazy, talking to people any kind of way. um and that is a problem that the community talks about a lot, is that these new doms just come in talking to anybody any kind of way, because that's what it seems like you do. And I mean, it is, but that's not all of it. You're still a person. The people you're interacting with is still a person. You have to build that relationship. And you can sprinkle this in every once in a while. And, like, I'll talk more about it in another episode, because that rant isn't right here. But be yourself, and the rest, it'll make sense. um yeah, so Hinge. Um oh, so that's what I was talking about, word and word choice. So I was like, sugar daddy and sugar baby doesn't really sit right with me, because it's this implication of sugar being like sex, like that's the exchange, you're giving me sex for whatever else. And of course that's not the case for everybody. But I was like, sugar daddy, sugar baby doesn't really resonate with me, and what I want. So I'm like, platonic investors. That is a vanilla way to say what I'm seeking. Like, I want a friendship with someone who's going to invest in me, in what I want to do, um, and that is my version of a low calorie sugar daddy. If I like you enough and we vibe and we get there, but that's not the basis. Like, every relationship should start with a friendship. And do I even like you as a person? Because all money's not good money. I could hate your guts and you could be giving me millions of dollars, but it's like every time I have to subject myself to your presence, I'm irritated because I don't like you. Not all, so it's like, is there even a friendship or a relationship for us to get along and see each other as people and wanting to support the each other's endeavors, each other's existence, or whatever. And if there's no friendship, if there's no connection on that level, then you could still send me the money, but like, I don't really want to spend as much time with you. I don't care to talk to you, like. And it's like, do I enjoy your company, yes or no? Um, yeah. So, downloading Hinge, I was a little bit apprehensive because my history with Tinder. But I actually love Hinge. Like, I went on a date. I'm supposed to go on a date today that I'm probably going to cancel since I'm still pretty sick. Um, I have a date scheduled next week. And then there's another guy that we haven't set up a date, but we've been talking pretty consistently through voice notes, and it's been really great. So yeah, I'm like, I could be a Hinge ambassador. um yeah, so the thing I would leave you with, I don't even remember how this conversation came up. But I was talking to my mama about having my tatas on the internet, and she essentially was like, I ain't raised no cheap bitch, you better raise them motherfucking prices. I was like, oh, okay mama, I heard you. She's like, oh hell no, because I told her the price of like my regular videos are like $10, which I was like doing some searching, and like, I've been doing a lot. That's another thing that I really love about loyal fans, is that they have a lot of tutorials on things. So I've just been like watching videos and observing other sex workers and seeing how they run their business and things like that. And I'm like, okay, what makes sense for me to adopt? And I really am like, damn, I'm a cheap bitch. I was like, okay. So yesterday's price is not today's price. So I'm still kind of like, I haven't really been uploading content on anything. Um, and I'm just in this place of like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm a like, it's no rush. It is what it is. But you better get it today, because if you go get it tomorrow, you might log back in. It's like, my brother got my mom a Mother's Day gift to either go to Hawaii or Paris, and she chose to go to Hawaii. So they were gonna go in July. And then when they went back, since they didn't get the tickets, they was like, the prices shot up. So now they're going later in the year. And it's like, yesterday's price is not today's price. So you better get it while you at it, So I've just slowly been increasing and changing prices on things, and, figuring out what makes sense. And as a findom, like, give me the money. The higher the money, the better. The goal is 4-digit cents. Every day is a 4-digit day. Every day is gonna be a 4-digit day. So what I actually but I just thought it was funny, because I really, like, I told my mom I think like one of the videos that I made was like, because I don't mind showing my tatas. I just increased those prices. But I think like the video I did was like $20 or something. And she was like, girl, I wouldn't even show, like, I would show a zoomed in clip snippet of my nipple for $10. You talking about you showing the whole thing for 20? Bitch, you better rate. And she didn't call me a bitch, but that's like, that was the sentiment that she gave me. Like, bitch, I ain't raised no cheap motherfucker. You better raise them motherfucking prices. If you out here showing your titties, you better make them titties work, okay? I was like, okay, mama, okay, I'm sorry. So now I got expensive titties. I love my mom. Yeah, that's like the other thing. This week has been like, oh my God, there's a lot of changes coming, and I've had to accept them, and sit with them, and as I just keep saying, figure out, okay, this change is coming. What actually makes the most sense? So, y'all will see. There are some changes coming. So I'll go back to this little book that I've been reading. I'm gonna skip forward. I've read the introduction in chapter 1, which is like, so I've read Note from the Publisher, Introduction, The Law of Pure Potentiality. So I'm gonna skip. Chapter 2 is the law of giving and receiving. Chapter 3 is the law of karma or cause and effect. Chapter 4 is the law of least effort. Chapter 5 is the law of intention and desire. Chapter 6 is the law of detachment, and then chapter 7 is the law of dharma or purpose in life, and then there's the afterword. So I'm going to read chapter 4, the law of least effort, and then I will wrap up this episode. So an integral being knows without going, sees without looking, and accomplishes without doing. The law of least effort. The fourth spiritual law of success, the law of least effort, is based on the fact that nature's intelligence functions with effortless ease, with carefreeness, harmony, and love. This is the principle of do less and accomplish more. When we learn this lesson from nature, we easily fulfill our desires. If we observe nature at work, we see that the least effort is expended. Grass doesn't try to grow, it just grows. Fish don't try to swim, they just swim. This is in their intrinsic nature. It is the nature of the sun to shine, and it is human nature to make our dreams manifest into physical form, easily and effortlessly. What is commonly called a miracle is actually an expression of the law of least effort. Least effort is expended when our actions are motivated by love, because nature is held together by the energy of love. When we seek power and control over other people, we spend energy in a wasteful way. When we seek power and control over other people, we spend energy in a wasteful way. When we seek money for personal gain only, we cut the flow of energy to ourselves and interfere with the expression of nature's intelligence. We waste our energy chasing the illusion of happiness instead of enjoying happiness in the moment. We waste our energy chasing the illusion of happiness instead of enjoying happiness in the moment. Attention to the whims of the ego consumes the greatest amount of energy. But when our internal reference point is our spirit, our actions are motivated by love, and there is no waste of energy. Our energy multiplies, and the surplus energy we gather can be channeled to create anything we want, including unlimited wealth. When we harness the power of harmony and love, we use our energy creatively for the experience of affluence and evolution. So how can you put the law of least effort into action? There are 3 things you can do. The first thing is to accept people, situations, and events as they are, not as you wish they were in, not as you wish they were in this moment. This moment is as it should be because it took the entire universe to make this moment. When you struggle against this moment, you struggle against the entire universe. You can intend for things to be different in the future, but in this moment, accept things as they are. The second thing is to take responsibility for your situation and for all the events you see as problems. This means not blaming anyone or anything for your situation, including yourself. This means not blaming anyone or anything for your situations, including yourself. Responsibility means the ability to have a creative response to the situation as it is now. All problems contain the seeds of opportunity, and this awareness allows you to take the moment and transform it into a better situation. If you do this, every upsetting situation becomes an opportunity for the creation of something new and beautiful. Every tormentor or tyrant becomes your teacher. The relationships you have attracted in your life are precisely the ones you need at this moment. There is a hidden meaning behind all events that is serving your own evolution. And if you choose to interpret reality in this way, then you will have many teachers and many opportunities to evolve. A third way to put the law of least effort into action is to practice defenselessness. This means relinquishing the need to convince others of your point of view. By doing this, you gain access to enormous amounts of energy that have previously been wasted. When you have no point to defend, you stop fighting and resisting, and you can fully experience the present, which is a gift. When you embrace the present, you begin to experience the spirit within you, or within everything that is alive, and joy is born within you. As you drop the burden of defensiveness and resentment, you become lighthearted, joyous, and free. In this joyful, simple freedom, you will know that what you want is available to you whenever you want it, because your want is coming from a state of happiness, not a state of anxiety and fear. The law of least effort assures us that there is always a simple, natural path to fulfillment. Nature's intelligence unfolds spontaneously through the path of least effort and no resistance. This is the way that you can live too. When you combine acceptance, responsibility, and defenselessness, your life flows with effortless ease. Your dreams and desires flow with nature's desires. Then you can release your intentions without attachment, and when the season is right, your desires will blossom into reality. To experience the law of least effort, accept people, circumstances, and events as they are in this moment. When confronted with any challenge, remind yourself, this moment is as it should be. Because the entire universe is as it should be. Take responsibility for your situation without blaming anything or anyone, including yourself. Every problem is an opportunity to take this moment and transform it into a greater benefit. Relinquish the need to defend your point of view. In defenselessness, you remain open to all points of view and not rigidly attached to one of them. And I think many episodes have talked about, all these things, the importance of being present and experiencing things and seeing things as they are and finding the joy in that. The everything happens for a reason, or you meet people for a reason. What can you take from that? What can you learn from that? I still haven't I still haven't recorded the throw up fiasco, but like even that whole thing, it was just like I could have chose to be mad, and I was pissed. I was definitely pissed, but it was like, okay, like what does this mean though? This was my opportunity in the physical realm. This was my opportunity to get rid of shit and learning detachment and just letting go of relationships that no longer serve you. And then, like as I was mentioning in the beginning of this, like the need to argue, like, or defend a point comes from this sense of ego. I have to be right. I have to look this kind of, like, I have to uphold this standard, or I have to look this kind of, let people think whatever the fuck they want to think, because they're going to do that regardless. You're going to sit here and you're going to spend 20-30 minutes and they're going to listen to the whole thing, but they're still going to think like, and I think about the person that commented, I need Jesus. You're right. I need a lot of things in this life. I need a lot of things in this fucking life. And it's like, how far along did that person watch? Did you watch the whole hour plus? And you was like, oh, I need Jesus. So all of the gems that I dropped in that episode just was like, oh, fuck that. Nah, she talking about sex work. She a sex worker, or whatever other crazy thing I said that made you feel that I need that in my life. Like, no, I'm doing perfectly fine. I have what I believe in, and and that's not shot. That's not a shot. Believe in whatever the fuck you want to believe in. It's so much shit. Like, what it comes down to is, are you happy, and what are you doing to contribute to this world to not make it as shitty as other people who are like jaded and ego driven are making it. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up because it's been an hour and 33 minutes of me talking and rapping. I hope y'all have a great Saturday, and yeah. Oh, this is the other sidebar. I do have an episode I've been sitting on, and I've said it before. The reason why I was sitting on it at first was because like I was saying stuff in it that hadn't happened yet, but then the other part is because it is featuring someone else. And whenever I have someone else as a feature, like, I do my walkthrough of it, and and then I let them view it and see, like, okay, is there anything that you want me to cut out or change or da 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 da, before I release it, because you're working with other people, and yeah. So that's just why I've been sitting, because that would have been released this week, but I was like, I didn't have time to listen to that. And like sometimes I just release audio without listening to it right away. Because I'm like, I know what I said, or I'll do like one listen through. But I'm like, I know what I said, and yeah. But when other people, it's like, oh no, I shouldn't have said that, or oh, I look this way, can you please? And I try not to like feed too much into that, because it's like, okay, if you're gonna come in here and you gonna get in front of this mic, don't just be talking to talk, like, don't be saying nothing because you in front of the camera and you want to sound crazy and then we renege, because I love Tal, but her and he's like, cut this out. I'll be like, bitch, what the fuck, like, you making this so much harder on me. But I love Tal. Shout out Big Tal, funny as hell. I miss her. Yeah, so y'all, all thoughts went out of my brain just now. I'm getting delirious again. It's time to go. Tell me when to go. Join Patreon while I'm still revamping it. But come over there and join it, because there's hella fucking content on there. What else? Since question, stories, topics, and corrections to two scrippers, one poll. I have the Ask Mango oh, okay. No, it's on my other phone. So next week I'll bring back Ask Mango, because the question was basically like, what, fuck. Yeah, I'll wait to answer it next week, because I don't remember how the question was phrased. So send send questions, or if you have questions, comment below. Like, what questions would you like to ask me? If they're a little bit more on the spicy end, send an email to 2scripters1poll@gmail.com, or follow me on Instagram at 2scripters1poll. The backup page is 2scripters1poll the pod. And either DM me with a question, or when I do remember, to put like the Ask Mango in the story, respond to those. If you are a sub type and you're like, oh my God, goddess, I just love everything. Like, I just love you so much. I know you do, boo. And you are interested in serving from a sub side, whether that is a service sub, or of course I love me a good financial sub. If you're a financial sub, I don't even want to talk to you unless you have paid me first, okay? So you better send me some motherfucking money at $Temptress Mango, big motherfucking purr, okay? Yeah, financial subs, you pay to speak to me. Send me that money. If you are interested in sessioning, or you have some kind of service you want to provide me, I still expect tribute. And maybe you don't tribute as much as a financial sub. But I've been looking, I'm about to get into some candle making. I want an Amazon gift card or a Michael's gift card. Give me a gift card for whatever amount you can expend to Mistress Mango at proton.me. If you're interested in sessioning, I'll be in, I'm actually going on tour in New York from June 24th through the 27th. And right now, I'm still figuring out the itinerary. But right now the plan is to be staying in upstate New York. But I am planning on making some little stops in Brooklyn and possibly Soho. Or one of them two. I'm still figuring out what makes sense, because I was like, damn, because I've been advertising that I'll be on tour in New York, but then I realized, I was like, damn, like, New York is actually a big city. Because when I asked one of my friends, could I, like, and I was looking into stuff, I was like, damn, this is a little expensive. I don't know if I could really pull this off. So, trying to figure out, I was like, hey, girl, like, can I stay with you? She's like, yeah, no problem, but I'm in upstate. That's, like, 3 hours away. I was like, god damn. So I'm trying to figure out what makes sense money-wise. But that's where the financial subs come in. You better pay for this motherfucking trip so I can go sit on a bitch's face. Okay, so a bitch can wash my feet. Okay, I'll leave y'all with this, I promise. I really want to go on like an ice cream or a food date or a shopping spree, and then go to a park and like, have them on a leash and get them down in human furniture and like kick my feet up and just eat my ice cream, and bird watch and do whatever else, and then go about my day. So if that sounds appealing to you, if you want to buy me ice cream and take me on a shopping spree and give me money and take me and watch me eat luxurious food, or wash my feet, kiss my feet, you want me to step on you, you want me to bite you, you want me to fucking piss on you, you just want to give me cash meat, I'm always down for a cash meat. What else do I want to do? You want me to put you in a cage, you want me to whip you in a motherfucking shape, you want me to shove my fucking size 7 foot down your throat. Hit me up, boo, Mistress Mango at proton.me. Y'all be safe. Make good choices.